Pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always he come to fight. I mean, I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about
Pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying, because Roach always he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about why Roach, cause he's with the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach fight nearing. There's been plenty of talk about how this is not the fight fans were hoping for. Many expected a high stakes matchup against another top lightweight contender, not about against a relatively lesser known opponent like Roach, and is not fighting one of the elite guys that you want to see him fight against. He's fighting another kind of B-level fighter who is really good, but you want to see Tank against the best of the best. Lamont Roach, for many, Roach simply doesn't fit the profile of the dangerous challenger they wanted to see in the ring with the undefeated knockout artist. So when the December 14th fight against Lamont Roach was announced, it was met with widespread skepticism, with many critics claiming that Roach was simply not worthy of facing Davis. When asked about the fight, promoter Eddie Hearn took a stance that defied the popular opinion swirling around the announcement. He didn't start with praise for Davis or a defense of the bout's star power. Instead, he turned the spotlight on Roach. Lamont Roach is a good fighter, Hearn said, suggesting that the criticism of this matchup was coming more from a lack of recognition for Roach rather than any real weakness in his skills. What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis Roach fight? I think that he's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability, but he can fight. I don't think he's a huge fight, but not a terrible one. The fight community's reactions have been undeniably lukewarm for them. Davis, boasting an immaculate 30-0 record with a good 28 knockouts, deserves an opponent of equal status. The man has obliterated names like Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin with his speed, power and relentless finishing ability. Every knockout adds another layer to the legend of Dant, a fighter who many see as virtually untouchable. So when Lamont Roach, a relatively quiet figure with a record of January 1st 25-10 was named as his next opponent, fans voiced disappointment. But that's exactly where Hearn's perspective comes in. To dismiss Roach as a weak opponent ignores the subtle qualities that make him dangerous. Roach, a former junior lightweight champion, is known for his resilience and technical ability. His sole defeat came in a close contest against Jamal Herring in 2019, and since then Roach has only sharpened his skills. Now moving up in weight to face Davis, he presents a puzzle that not everyone sees at first glance. Critics may view this as an easy victory for Davis, but the sport is filled with surprises, and Roach knows this fight could redefine his career here. Do you feel like Tank has been receiving unfair criticism because of Lamont not being as of a fighter as his past opponent? Yeah, but it's not Tank. The guys with the so-called names, they turn Tank down, they price the out, and because people don't know Lamont, he's not as power, they think he can't fight. But Lamont can fight, and he got a hell of a pedigree, 7-time national champion. And he tough, he can fight absolutely. Hearn's reasoning for the bout goes deeper than just filling a December card. People don't know who Roach is, he said, but added that real boxing fans should recognize this as a good fight. He acknowledged the disappointment in not landing a bigger name, but questioned what options were truly available for Davis at this stage. Was it realistic to expect Davis to fight another top lightweight with so little preparation? Perhaps the reaction isn't really about Roach, it's about what fans demand from fighters like Davis, who carry the weight of expectation with every bout. However, even with the praise coming from Hearn about Roach, he still believes Tank is going to win, and this is the same view that Teofimo Lopez has, except with his usual jabs. Teofimo Lopez, known for his bold statements and fearless attitude, has made it clear that he believes Tank Davis will dominate Lamont Roach in their upcoming fight on December 14th. Lopez, however, doesn't stop there. While he gives Davis credit for his skills, he insists that he's the only fighter who can truly defeat the undefeated knockout artist. So you think you dominate Tank? I think I dominate any of them. If you really look at it, if you got to really tap in on this, look at the resume, all that extra whatever, there's a certain limit that you hit, right? But then there's that next criteria, or that next top tier, and if you don't match that, you never going to know how great you really are. And I've done that a few amount of times already. I jumped out that box and done that, so I have yet to see Gervonta come out of that box yet, you know what I'm saying. They about to put him with a guy 130 pounds whether he's a champion or not. You're getting a guy lighter than you to come up and wait to make you look good again. I'm saying. In a recent interview with Fight Hype, Lopez questioned whether Davis truly has the confidence to face elite opponents. Lopez has long felt that Davis has been carefully managed with his team, especially Floyd Mayweather figing him away from the biggest threats in the lightweight division. Lopez cited Davis's reluctance to fight Vasily Lomachenko in the past as a prime example of this. How many times did they say that Tank Davis was not ready for LMA, that they had to prep him? Lopez said, how many times did Mayweather have to speak for Gervonta Tank Davis? I'm just speaking facts. Lopez, who himself has never shied away from facing the top fighters in his division, believes this cautious approach has kept Davis from proving himself against the best. He pointed to his own willingness to take on Lomachenko, a fight that Lopez won, as evidence of his own confidence compared to Davis. While Lopez acknowledges Davis's aggressive style and dangerous power, he feels that Davis's management has been too protective, keeping him from the kinds of fights that would truly test him, allowing Gervonta to get proper leverage behind his shots. This case, Garcia is the challenger. Oh, look like he was going down, he got her, but Garcia's in serious. Look at this janty. Despite this criticism, Lopez doesn't downplay Davis's abilities. He recognizes that Davis is a formidable opponent and expects him to handle Roach easily. Tank ain't a pushover, Lopez said in an interview with Fight Sports, but Lopez is convinced that when it comes to defeating Davis, he's the only one capable of doing it. I guess the only one that can really beat Tank is me, Lopez confidently stated. Nobody else can do the job. Lopez also recalled a sparring session with Davis from 11 years ago when Davis was already a professional fighter at 18 while Lopez was just 15. While Lopez didn't put too much weight on that experience, he admitted that Davis was aggressive even back then. Still, Lopez believes that he has the tools and the mindset to overcome Davis in a real fight. Tim Bradley also didn't hold back in his recent criticism of Tank, calling the WBA lightweight champion a total fraud. According to Bradley, Tank's management has been strategically shielding him by matching him with softer opponents, creating an illusion of greatness rather than proving his skills against top-tier competitors. This latest matchup against Roach, who is moving up in weight from 130 pounds, only further fuels Bradley's belief that Davis is being protected rather than tested. Bradley expressed disbelief over Davis's choice to fight Roach, a super featherweight, instead of someone from his own weight class such as number 3 WBA contender Edwin Dos Santos. In Bradley's view, Dos Santos, who gave Shakur Stevenson a tough fight last November, would have been a much more credible opponent. Put him in the ring with someone that can punch back, someone with a great IQ just as well as he is. Bradley insisted, and Tank Davis, I want to fight the guys that's going to come to try to fight me, to try to win, to make sure they got stuff to lose too, just like me, not guys that want to just come here and just be a part of the show. Can you send a message to Tank Davis? Get ready. The fact that Davis's management passed on Dos Santos, who is in the same promotional stable as Tank, raises serious questions for Bradley about what they are trying to protect. They're covering something and I don't know what it is, he remarked, wondering if Davis's team was avoiding Dos Santos due to his power in southpaw stance. Bradley went on to criticize the pattern of Davis's career, claiming that his management has been hand-picking fighters from lower weight classes to boost his record and make him look more dominant than he truly is. This is the Tank Protection Program, Bradley said, comparing the matchmaking process to putting makeup on flaws to make Davis appear invincible. In his opinion, Davis has yet to face a truly dangerous opponent, and until he does, the narrative around him being a top pound-for-pound fighter is merely a facade. Bradley's frustrations also extended to the broader issue of pay-per-view numbers. He predicted that the fight against Roach would struggle to draw significant buys, not because of a lack of interest in Tank, but because fans aren't being given the fights they want to see. No one is going to pay for this PPV, Bradley warned, noting that real excitement and big numbers come from competitive matchups and not one-sided affairs. Either way, he was confident that Lamont Roach would go down as another Tank's win, like Floyd Money Mayweather. One of the greats, one of the legends, one of the GOATs, said to himself, Sugar Tank Davis. So we know that Tank Davis loves to be painting his nails, wearing stilettos, wearing them purses. How many pay-per-view buys does this